Hello everyone, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Just want to make sure my volume is working. Okay, I'm all set for tea time and a card. I'm just going to hold off a few seconds. I can see everyone finding me. So you guys, I got some new products on Monday for the mini catalog coming up. Before I show you what I'm doing today, I'm going to show you one of the suites. So I'll introduce this first because this is what I'm using tonight for my card. The inked and tiled bundle, which includes the inked and tiled punches. You can see there's two punches. See if I can hold them just right. There you go, so you guys can see them. So oh, you know what? I didn't put my microphone on. Hold on a minute. You guys probably can't hear me very well. Okay, let's see if that's better. Okay, the bundle I want to show you because I've been using it today and I love it. It's the Berry Christmas bundle. You can see all the goodies here. I'm going to show you one by one what those bundles entail. Let me just dig it out. So we have the Berry Cute stamp set. And it's a photopolymer stamp set. That is bundled with a punch, the Berry Cute punch. So you can see that you can cut out this bear right here. Let me just put this aside. I'm going to bring the designer paper in, which is beautiful. I'm going to give you a view of these patterns first and then the wow patterns on the back. So let me do one at a time so you can see. I used this one today. I love it. Kind of reminds me of the cable knit sweaters on some of these. I used this one today also. And that. Okay, now get ready for the wow. I'm going to flip these over. And you know what I didn't do? I'm pretty sure. Let me bring the punch back out. I didn't play with this too much yet. I'm pretty sure. Yes, see, this is going to fit in the punch. So you have different assorted bears on here that you can cut with the punch. And this one with a lot of presents. Look at the cute little bear footprints in the snow. I love that. Here's some more bears. I'm keeping the best one for last. And then this one has some reindeers. And look at this one. I don't even want to cut this one, you guys. It's so pretty. I'm trying to think what you could do with this one. If you cut it in half, you'll have all blue, which is good. And then you can have 3 scenery type cards. So I really like that. And then with that, I got the adhesive back glitter sequins, 3 colors. I'm going to try to bring it up real close. And these are flat. I'm going to see if I can put it sideways. These are perfectly flat. They're almost like the glimmer paper with adhesive on the back. One thing that I'm very excited about is the Deckled Circles dies. There's 14 different circles. Look how big they are. So I've used a couple of these so far. I love these. They kind of go with our deckled rectangle dies. We got some pretty ribbon. This is, let me see, sparkle ribbon, and it's in balmy blue. I need to bring this up close too because it's so sparkly. And it's like a velvety finish to it, very soft. Okay, I'm going to stop moving so you can see the glitter. Okay, that's the ribbon. And I've got another punch I want to show you because it actually would fit well with some of these sentiments right here. This is a new modern oval punch. You can see how, whoops, hold on, right. I gotta wait for the video to catch up. It's hard for me to show you because it's so shiny. But that's another one of our new punches. And lastly is the Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder. And I've gone ahead and done one sheet in white just to show you. It's got little dots everywhere and then some bigger sized snowflakes. So very pretty embossing. So that's just one bundle that I have. I'll show more as I do more videos. So let's get on with the show. I've already showed you the inked and tiled bundle I'm using. I'm also using the inked Botanicals designer paper tonight. So I'm going to quickly go through those. These are all 6 by 6. I've used this package of paper a lot. Okay, there's the first half of the colors. Now let me see if I can just flip these over. And there's the second half. I like the sheets that have the multiple colors on them. There's 4 different or 5 different sheets. This one is really pretty with the flowers. So that's the paper I'm using tonight. Inked Botanical. Let me see what else I've got. I've got iridescent pastel gems I'm using. Ink colors Lost Lagoon and Petal Pink. And then I'm using a couple of the shapes from the Stylish Shapes dies. And I have lots of layers. Don't let it scare you, and I'll explain the card after I show you all the layers. So I have Petal Pink, 8.5 by 5.5. I scored on both ends at 2 1/8, so it's going to be a gatefold card. These are the 2 layers that go on the front, 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. And then I have a lot of assorted pieces here. Okay, these are all my punching. I just took 4 different patterns. I'm going to punch with, let me get my punch. I'm not going to use this one tonight. I'm just going to use this one. And then Petal Pink. Let me go with that color first. So the card base is Petal Pink. This is another layer, 5.5 by 3. 2 of these, 3.5 by 4. And I've scored both of them on the long side at 1/2 inch. And then the Stylish Shapes dies. The larger one with Petal Pink, and the next one over with the designer paper. A couple more pieces. Another piece of designer paper, 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. Very vanilla, 3 3/4 by 2 3/4, and a scrap piece for stamping. Now I am gonna need this one. I'm just peeking at my card to see what else I need. I think that's all I need. I did the cutting on the other pieces. Now my inspiration for the card. This is the card, you guys, I've wanted to do for several years, and I never tackled it till now. Because I got a card in the mail from Deborah Holt. She's on our Facebook group page. And when you open it, I took it apart. This is how I learned how to do it. So Deborah, I'm sorry I took your card apart, but I'm using it as a pattern. It's one of the shutter cards. Okay, it opens and closes in the middle. I took this off just so I could see how the mechanism works. So look how simple. It looks complicated, and I think that's why I never did it before, because it looked intimidating, but it's so easy. So let me show you how I did mine. Let me bring mine in first so you can see all the layers. And then look slowly in the middle. It's going to open up to reveal the message. Okay, so that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to start out by just folding these 2 flaps on the score line. Make sure they meet in the middle. I always press front and back to make sure it's nice and flat. I'm going to go ahead and glue my 2 strips in the front. So mostly all of the work is on the inside. Let's see, I'm going to do opposite colors this time. I'll put the orange color on the left side and the flowered one on the right side. Let me bring the card in so you guys can see what I'm doing. So the front is pretty easy. It's just a gatefold, but we're going to add to the middle. Now I'm going to take both of these and put them diagonally instead of flat. We're only gluing it to the left-hand side, so we only need to add adhesive to one side. And what I'm doing when I'm gluing this in place, I'm looking at the split in the middle as my guide. So my two little tips are even with that, with the crack in the middle, you guys. Okay, now this one, I'm gonna glue some of my shapes to, so I need 4 shapes. This is like a little X, it's really neat. And I'm just using scraps. So I need 4 of those. It's always good to save scraps because look how much I'm using, very little. Okay, now I'm going to flip these over and add glue to all of them. These remind me of just an X. And they fit perfectly to the width of this square, believe it or not. Okay, let me see. I'm going to do, what I tried to do is do a flowered pattern to separate the colored patterns. See, look how, that's perfect. It just fits perfectly in there. Okay, there's my front. Now I'm going to add dimensionals. You guys, did you notice I'm wearing long sleeves? It's August 9th, 2023. In Maine, northern Maine, it's been in the 60s for the last couple days. I have been wearing long sleeves for 2 days now. So for those of you guys that are having heat waves, please send it our way. We haven't had a summer here in Maine. It's either been raining or cold. Okay, now I'm going to do my sentiment. And I am going to have to bring my machine in to cut that out. This is with Lost Lagoon. Let me just grab my machine and get my little one out. So I'm going to cut that with the banner shape. I've been hearing in some states that it's like 115 degrees. Well, it's not even close to that here. It's been a crazy summer. Okay, I'm going to do dimensionals. I'm just going to finish up the front and then we'll work on the mechanism on the inside. And let's see, I'm going to do, I did the orange colored. I'll do the blue ones this time. Change it up a bit. And let's see, one more. Okay, there's my front. Now let's go ahead and do the inside. So it does look intimidating, like I said. The first thing I'm going to do is stamp what I need in the middle. So let me bring in my petal pink. And of course, the Lost Lagoon. I'm going to do the flower right in the middle. And then lots of love with Lost Lagoon. And then I use this flower. I knew most of it wouldn't show up. Oh, hold on. Let me get a pad because I am going to go over. I kind of just wanted this part of the flower. The stem will not show up. And I did actually stamp off on the first card. And I forgot to do that, but that's okay. It's just darker. Okay, now this is going to be glued right to the inside. You're just going to center it. So we'll get that ready right in the middle. And now we've got, let me see, 1, 2, and 2. I am going to need this square. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this in place. The designer paper over the cardstock, and then we're going to cut the hole. That's why there's so many layers. I did a lot of layering. Okay, let me just move this over. I think I'm going to use something to hold that down this time so it doesn't move on me. Let me just go ahead and position that. So that's going to be right in the middle, right about there. And it will cut through both layers, but I'm going to go front and back to make sure, to give it a little bit more pressure. Try not to rip this. Okay, so there's my little hole for my mechanism. We're not going to glue that in place yet. We need to do these two pieces, which you do one on each side. And what I did on the back is I drew a diagram. It's easier to do it in pencil so you don't mess up, because this is going to be flipped over and you won't see it anyway. So you're going to go over from that 1/2 inch fold line. See right here, you're going to go over 1.5 inches. So I'm going to make 2 marks, draw my straight line, and then I'm going to go up here, find the center point, which is 1 3/4 and 1 3/4. So I'm just making 2 straight lines. And then you're going to do 2 diagonals. It's just a guide so that your diagonals are even on both sides. So all of that work, and all we're going to do is cut into a banner shape, but it just helps you align everything. So we're going to do 2 of those. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you wrote on the back, because we're going to flip it over anyway. No one's going to know we cheated. And if you want to make a bunch of these, you could actually make a template and keep it as a pattern and just trace it. Okay, there's my 2 pieces. Now we're going to bring these in. I'm going to use liquid glue just so I can move them around if I need to. And this is actually glued. Let me see if you can see that. Right to the score line on the outside. So I've got this bent over. And I'm going to bring it right here. Press it in place. I'm just going to hold it. Okay, there's number 1. Now we're going to do number 2. And because they are going to overlap, I'm going to bend this one over, because I want to line this up. That's where the liquid glue comes in handy. And I just noticed my little vanilla piece is a little too long. I cut it a little too long. So let me see if I can, whoops. I'm just going to trim off a little bit on each end. You won't see this anyway. So I would say cut this a 1/2 inch shorter than what I told you. I must have measured it wrong. I'm hoping I can get this off. There we go. Okay, so when we close this, they should overlap each other. And now I'm going to use my bone folder to press down. And then this is where we glue this piece. Now we want this to move back and forth, so we don't want to add any glue in the center. All you're going to do is add dimensionals on the very ends. Let me get one more sheet. So I did 3 on each end. Whoops. And I'm almost done. Look how quick that was. It's a lot of cutting to get everything ready, but you don't have to have all the layers that I do either. I'm just a layering kind of girl. I love layering. Okay, this is going to be even with the top. Nice and straight, right in the middle. And there is our mechanism. Look how easy that was. And then we close that shut. And that's the card for tonight. So everybody on Facebook that comments, I will pick a name tomorrow to win one of these cards. And I hope you enjoyed this shutter card. Don't wait as long as I did to try one. I have been wanting to do this for years. Oh, and I need to mention, I made a comment on Facebook when I posted about my live And Mary Ellsbury said she had her M&Ms all ready to go for class. Look, my dish is empty. I ran out. So I need to go buy some more M&Ms. Just wanted to show you my empty dish. Okay, everyone, that's it for this week. I will see you again next week. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.